So in today's video, Jesus, my hair needs to stay down. So in today's video, I'm going over the biggest Oculus Quest 2 myths, or more specifically, lies? Since the boom of the Quest 2 breathing just an insane amount of new life into the VR and being such a huge hit with the general public, of course, VR myths are bound to begin to pop up here and there, whether it be someone's mom applying the same age-old don't sit too close to the TV or you'll go blind logic to a VR headset, or the now discontinued and lower res Rift S being superior because it's a PCVR headset, or the Oculus Quest 2 being a kid's toy? What the fuck? Or just general misinformation pushed by reputable sources refusing to give VR a proper chance. Many of these myths unfortunately end up directly affecting the public's outlook of this amazing new technology and hurting users' purchasing decisions. So today I'm putting on my Adam Savage hat and myth busting some of the biggest Quest 2 myths. Also, Synth Riders were kind enough to send me another Quest 2 key to give away to you guys. It's one of my favorite Quest 2 games of all time, so if you want a chance to win, just drop a comment down below on which Quest 2 myth featured in this video was the craziest in your opinion, as well as having liked and subscribed, as I'll be picking people from my subscribers list. Or don't. That's fine too. Okay, on to myth number 1, and that's
The Oculus Rift S is better because it's PCVR.
this is one I've unfortunately actually heard a lot. I get asked by even Quest 2 users if they should upgrade to the Rift S at least a few times a month in my Discord server or my Twitch streams. Yo, you see how I plugged both of those like an actual YouTuber that knows what he's doing? Woo! To most Quest 2 users, saying that the Rift S is the better headset sounds like the ramblings of an insane person. However, you forget that the main reason the Quest 2 is just so popular is due to having really hit a mainstream global audience. And with that, there's still a lot of new Quest 2 users that are seemingly obviously out of the loop, and a lot of people still associate high-tier VR gameplay with PC VR headsets like the Valve Index or of course the Rift S. And the Rift S being the only headset by Oculus intentionally marketed as a PC VR headset that, you know, is still available to purchase right now, seems to get confused as the better headset. I mean, from the frequently asked questions on Google alone, you can see that this is still a point of contention for many new VR users. So to set the record straight, the Rift S is in no way better than the Quest 2. The Rift S has a lower resolution at 1280 by 1440 per eye, while the Quest 2 runs at 1832 by 1920 per eye. The Rift S also has a lower refresh rate as it's locked at 80 Hz, while the Quest 2 can now run up to 120 Hz. The Rift S lacks hand tracking, wireless capability, among plenty of other features. Not to mention, the Rift S isn't even receiving support from your boy Zuck and the entirety of Facebook Reality Labs anymore. With the Quest 2 having the ability to be used as a PC VR headset via a link cable, or now Airlink, the Rift S is by far the worst headset. This also leads nicely into the next myth on this list, and that is
The Quest 2 has bad quality because it's mobile.
Unfortunately, still, the mobile headset stereotype is still very fresh in many people's minds. I'm sure most of you have at some point tried something similar to a Google Cardboard. The damage that these mobile-based headsets did to the VR's image still lives on to this day. Though with the Quest 2 nearing 10 million sales, it looks like it's finally changing. These mobile headsets are almost always a pretty terrible experience. So bad, in fact, that still many people seem to believe that the Quest 2 being a wireless mobile device will have poor graphical quality and a lower resolution than other VR headsets on the market. Now, in fairness, this is to a degree true. I mean, look at the difference between Vader Immortal on the Quest 2 compared to running on standard PC VR like the Rift S or the Valve Index. However, still many games on the Quest 2 look fantastic, as running natively on the headset allows many to take full advantage of the Quest 2's higher resolution display. There are plenty of great looking games to play. Sure, it's not what we currently have available on PC VR, but it's in no ways bad, and a lot of the time is masterfully used with a specific art style. Descent Alps is a perfect example of this. It looks sharp, it's beautiful, but it's still very simplistic looking, but works for the game, and also utilizes the Quest 2's performance properly. The next myth on this list, wow, that rhymes pretty good, is that you need the 256GB version. Constantly I'm asked virtually everywhere, whether it be in my comments, my Discord, my Twitch, hell, even random people DMing my goddamn Instagram account, which version they should get, the 64GB version or the 256GB version, as many think this is a much bigger deal than it actually is. Largely due to the gigabyte specifications on phones getting larger and larger, a lot of new users seem to still think that the 256GB version is a need, when in reality this isn't exactly true. Sure, if you travel a lot and don't have consistent access to Wi-Fi and want to have a range of games to play, or perhaps you watch a lot of movies in 4K, in some cases like that, 256 gigs makes sense. However, for the vast majority of users, you won't even manage to use the 64GB version to its fullest. I own the 64GB version. I record hours of footage for videos, download a range of different games to review. I mean, look at my game recommendation videos. I usually have multiple games all downloaded at once, plus footage for each of them. And even then, I've only managed to use around half of the 64GB Quest 2 storage. You'd be surprised how many Quest games have great file size optimization. Something I wish fucking Modern Warfare Hard Drive Nuke Edition would understand. How is this game 200GB? It's literally just a few maps and some guns. How does this even happen? Basically, unless you have a specific need for the 256GB version and are just an average user, 64 gigs is plenty. Next myth up on this list is that
Boomers can't use the Quest 2.
this is one I've unfortunately again seen a lot, especially from people of the older generation. I mean, I'm not exactly surprised. There's so much new cool tech releasing every year. I don't exactly blame boomers for being out of touch. The Quest 2 is in no way anti-boomer. Yes, many games unfortunately are still riddled with screaming kids whose parents clearly never loved them, but there are a whole host of incredible and beautiful experiences that are perhaps at least more easygoing for an older generation. Fishing, sightseeing, rock climbing, a range of sport games, and a personal favorite of mine, 11 table tennis. Just a little while ago, I was paired against a guy in his mid-40s whose wife had just got him a Quest 2, and I know this because 11 table tennis has full voice chat, and we ended up talking while 1v1ing each other for at least half an hour. You can find people of all ages to hang out with and play against if you play the right games, especially with everything going on in the world, and so many older generations being so out of touch with tech that they've ended up locked at home with nothing but a TV. Seeing so many pass up a Quest 2 because it seems like a device for youngsters is really sad. So no, the Quest 2 is not anti-boomer, and I implore anyone who is hesitant in picking up a Quest 2 for this reason to seriously reconsider getting one. However, this does lead me into the next myth on this list.
I got motion sick once, so I can't play VR.
This is probably the one I have seen the most on this list out of all of them. Constantly I hear complaints from users who have returned their Quest 2, disappointed that on their very first play session they got motion sick. For some reason, a lot of new users seem to think that getting motion sick once means that you will always get motion sick, to the point where they return their headset as soon as they get motion sick. I don't know a single person that didn't get motion sick the first few times they played VR. Back when I got my first VR headset, the PSVR, I sure as hell got motion sick for the first few times I played. Probably also because I played for like 4 hours at a time because of how cool it was. It takes time to build up your VR legs, as most call it. Sometimes it can take weeks to get over, dependent on what game you're playing, but trust me, as you play it more, it will fade away more. That said, now even I will play a certain level at a specific time with specific lighting conditions on a very specific game, and I'll randomly get motion sick, though never to the same degree that I did when I first played. And that's coming from someone who did this in VR on a daily basis back when I used to stream mixed reality stuff on Twitch. So please don't let motion sickness scare you away from such an amazing form of entertainment. Stick with it, work your way up the VR game ladder by starting with games that maybe don't make you move too much, like Beat Saber, and then progressing to games such as Pavlov that let you move with the stick. Please don't jump headfirst into a game like Boneworks. You will literally throw up everywhere. That game is intense as hell. Even I sometimes get motion sick from playing it. The next myth on this list is
Sun from outside damages the cameras.
this is one I think sprouted from the upset from the VR community about the Wall Street Journal making a video just swinging about the Quest 1 with the lenses directly exposed to sunlight, as this can fry the display of the headset. A lot of channels were quick to make fun of that, and I don't blame them. I mean, I have too. However, it seems many users sort of misconstrued this and applied this same logic to the cameras that are dotted outside the Quest 1 and 2. And now the advice from many is just don't play outside, whatever you do, you moron, when this isn't really true. Yes, exposing any VR headset's lenses to the sun is terrible. Like, don't do it, please. It is really bad. However, provided you're wearing the headset and the lenses aren't being exposed and you're not in any extreme heat, the worst that could happen to the headset is the external cameras that are exposed to the sunlight have poor tracking while you're playing in the sunlight. It's not going to permanently damage them. If you want to play in your backyard for a little bit and with some fresh air, you should be totally safe to do so as long as you cover up, these precious lenses. Next myth on this list is that
You should wait for the Oculus Quest 3.
with all the recent news releasing regarding the next Quest headset and the comment section from my last video showing off some of the tech that Zucky Boy said was in development for the Quest 3, many people seem to be panicking about returning their Quest 2 or debating whether or not it's worth waiting for the next Quest. After a recent interview with the vice president of Facebook Reality Labs, Andrew Bosworth, he made it clear that the Quest 2 will be sticking around for another year or so, and that current Quest users have nothing to be worried about, especially as once the Quest 3 does eventually actually arrive, the Quest 2 is set to continue getting support and updates from Oculus and Facebook. So if you're waiting for the Quest 3 or debating returning your Quest 2 for the Quest 3, just stick with the Quest 2 for now. Otherwise, you'll likely be waiting for about a year. The next myth on this list is that
Facebook bans Quest users all the time.
as much as I, really love my Quest 2, I mean, my whole channel's dedicated around VR, and a lot of it happens to be about the Quest 2. Subscribe if you want more content like this, or don't, that's fine too. I mean, I don't blame you. I have been very critical of Facebook's policing and their user data agreement. I mean, I have an entire video talking about how much I love the hardware itself, but despise how Facebook has gone about banning accounts for something like not putting your real name or real date of birth during the account creation, or being under the age of 13 for a device that is very family friendly shown by their marketing. Due to users being banned for these reasons in the past, it seems many new Quest users seem to think this is like a common occurrence. And I don't blame them. With my own videos and many others complaining about this situation, it does look like accounts are being banned left and right. But generally, it seems that these bans aren't all that common. They still happen, and Facebook need to be better about the systems that are in place to ban users. But if you're an average user and you're careful about what you say to others in games, and you're not a complete raging and you're careful about what you post on Facebook, I wouldn't worry too much. That said, you should really list your real name and date of birth if you are concerned about a possible ban, as much as it is an invasion of privacy that I hope Facebook does change in the future. For right now, maybe just change that date of birth and that name to your actual date of birth and real name for the time being if you're concerned about losing access to your Quest. Next myth up on the list is that
The default head strap is fine, lol.
I see this pop up here and there from certain Quest 2 users. It seems many people hear a lot about how bad the default strap is when they get to try it for the first time, and then end up rushing to Reddit or Discord servers to claim that the head strap really isn't that bad, guys, which to any long-time Quest 2 user will know is an insane statement. A few reasons why some people think that the default strap is fine is one, the obvious one. If you've only used it for 20 to 30 minutes after you've gone your Quest 2, you likely haven't begun to feel the plastic adjustment straps begin to dig into your head yet. And two, if you have any long or particularly thick hair, you likely aren't experiencing the same degree of uncomfortability that shorter hair users experience. Now, for the final myth on this list is that
The Quest 2 needs an official link cable.
or that the official link cable is better. If you use your Quest 2 with your PC or laptop, you'll obviously be aware of the need for a link cable unless you're using the recently released AirLink feature. Many new users seem to still assume that the $80 link cable sold by Oculus themselves would be the best option, which is technically true. I mean, the official cable uses fiber optic, while the majority of third-party options use copper. So obviously the official Oculus cable is better, right? Well, yes, but actually no. Right now, from tests by various users online and large YouTube channels, it's clear that the third-party copper cables are plenty for what the Quest 2 needs, providing at times even better speeds than Oculus's own cable. Perhaps the Quest 3 will make better use of its fiber optic nature, but right now with the Quest 2, there's really no need to get Oculus's own cable when it's $80. Third-party options are running at around $20 to $30 right now, Kiwi being one of the most reliable in my opinion. So save yourself that money and go with the third-party options for now. If you got to this point in the video, I love you. Thank you so much for getting to this point in the video. I really appreciate it. You're what keeps the watch time high in these videos and also keeps them recommended as well. So any success that this video has is really down to you guys. So thank you. Again, if you want to win yourself that $100 key, just drop a comment down below on which myth was the craziest in your opinion and why, as well as having liked and subscribed, as I'll be picking people from my subscribers list. Or just like and subscribe because you actually like the video and content. JK, no one does that. Imagine actually liking a video a bit long. And the winner from the last video's giveaway is Sapphire Cupcake. I'll be contacting you through the reply to that comment or on your channel discussion page, so feel free to respond to me through any of those two avenues so I can get this Synththreader's game key to you. Anyway, thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Bye-bye. By the way, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys that have become members on the channel. Basically, a couple of weeks ago, no one was, members in the channel, and now we have, multiple members. Thank you so much, because it's similar to Patreon and, gives me direct funding for new camera equipment, new sets and areas. I'm going to keep expanding this channel, doing cooler stuff with different headsets. We have some really cool stuff in the pipeline. Those of you that hit that join button, thank you so freaking much. Also, I usually stream live relatively regularly over on my Twitch, so twitch.tv/GetHip. If you want to ask me any questions live, I love talking about VR stuff live with you guys. So, okay, I gotta get to this video and start doing YouTube professional stuff.